Hi friends, welcome back to another day of reading with Miss Julie. Today's the last day that I want to talk to you about reading Owl Moon. We've talked about visualizing, making a picture in our minds about what we read about. We've talked about figurative language, words that the author uses to describe things that aren't really what's happening, but help you understand what's going on in the story. Today, I want to talk to you about questioning. Find your paper Owl Moon book and a pencil. Let's begin. When I think about the questions that I have, sometimes they're things that I just wonder. Sometimes they're things that I need to find answers to help me understand what's happening in the story. So I'm going to read Owl Moon again today, and this time I'm going to use my pencil to write down questions on the pages that I might need help understanding or that I'm just curious about. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still as giant statues, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us a train whistle blew, long and low like a sad, sad song. I can tell that it's cold because it says winter, and I can see the snow on the ground in the picture, so I know when the story is happening. But my question is, where does this story take place? Or what's the setting? That's something I'm just curious about. It might help me understand the story, but it might not. I just want to know, where does this story take place? I could hear it through the woolen cap Pa had pulled down over my ears. A farm dog answered the train, and then a second dog joined in. They sang out trains and dogs for a real long time. And when their voices faded away, it was as quiet as a dream. We walked on toward the woods, Pa and I. Thinking about questions that I might have on this page. Are they cold? She's wearing a wool cap, so it makes me think that maybe they're bundled up, but I've been bundled up and been very cold before. Let's keep reading. Our feet crunched over the crisp snow, and little gray footprints followed us. Pa made a long shadow, but mine was short and round. I had to run after him every now and then to keep up, and my short, round shadow bumped after me. But I never called out. If you go owling, you have to be quiet. That's what Pa always says. I had been waiting to go owling with Pa for a long, long time. I wonder, I'm curious, does Pa go owling a lot? Or maybe it's just something that they do on special occasions. We reached the line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stopped right where I was and waited. He looked up as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. The moon made his face into a silver mask. Then he called, hoo, 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 the sound of a great horned owl. Hoo, 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 hoo. I have lots of questions about owls. But I don't know a lot about great horned owls right now. I think I'll hold that question for another page. Again he called out, and then again. After each call he was silent, and for a moment we both listened. But there was no answer. Pa shrugged and I shrugged. I was not disappointed. My brothers all said, sometimes there's an owl and sometimes there isn't. We walked on. I could feel the cold as if someone's icy hand was palmed down on my back. and my nose and the tops of my cheeks felt hot and cold at the same time. Oh, I found an answer to one of my questions. Yes, they are very cold. Your job for today is to continue reading the rest of Owl Moon. I want you to try to find about 4 questions that you have about this story. They could be questions for the author, like, has Jane Yolen ever been owling? Or what inspired her to write this story? They could be questions about the characters, like mine. Are they cold when they're doing this? Well, we kept reading and we found out, yes, they are very cold. They could be questions about great horned owls. Like, I think I'm going to put my question about owls on the page where we can see the giant owl. Come up with some great questions, and I'll see you again soon.